customer contacted me that they needed Ankara to do ashwebi. Quickly, I called my customer in Kano. Send me samples so that I will send to these people. And he promised me that he will send me the sample. No matter. I have waited and waited and waited. He has not called. Meanwhile, new client is here, calling and calling me, expecting me to send samples.
Are you sure he has not come? Maybe you missed the call.
I have been full, Lily. I've been checking.
But that is not a problem.
This is not a problem. Business.
It is not a problem. Material is everywhere in the market. You enter the market. You look for the. You purchase. You look at it. You send it to. If you approve it, business is started. Why are you waiting time? Business is evident. Well, yes, I agree with that.
That one is too risky.
I did not to say it, you purchase it for money. I said go to the nearest market. I said go to the nearest market. Mazi, it is not in Newi.
Help me, who is talking of Newi? I said Olewu. It means it's risky. Look, I have spent so many years building my reputation in this business. I'm known to be reliable. If I send them those samples, and they approve one, then my customer sends his own, and if we cannot get the one they have approved, they come.
Mommy, I'm ready to go now, and I'm going for the meeting first, so I need the money because I'll first of all go to the bank so that the bank will not close before I get there because I don't know when the meeting will close. Okay, ma'am.
Why are you shouting?
50,000 naira. 50,000 naira. Don't step into my bag. What did happen? You know, Charlotte. Wow. This way. I bet she ready. Jackpot, wait. I'm blind. It is enough for me. Oh, hey. Who take my money? No.
Maybe you kept it somewhere else.
Abuja! Have you ever mistaked money? If I mistake money, I will mistake 50,000 naira. You know me our money!
No, it's not possible. No.
You know me our money! What the manager? Manager! What happened? I can't find my money. 50,000 naira disappeared. How?
For this place. How you take up on a sickness? Let's go. I don't see it.
50,000 naira is stopping. What is it? Is that money there or it's not there? What are you telling me?
I told her now. I told her. Not yesterday, me and Enjoy the talking to myself. I told her, we will not stay for this place. We will not stay for here.
Wait, meaning what? What did they talk? Did they stop? Listen, men are talking to me. If anybody get information on my money, men are supposed to talk.
Mommy, see, nobody fit see for this place. Nobody get my food. Now only say if she don't see money like this, it was show himself.
What are you talking about? What is this guy talking about? If you get any information, tell him to make it come.
Charity, talk now. That delivery guy. That guy, I used to feel what guy don't Fidelis. Yes. Fidelis will never do that.
Hey, auntie, be careful. Because if this thing you are alleging is not true, it will bring problem.
Who is he?
Thief! He's a thief! See, now last week, Fidelis come back from prison. Yay!
Charity. Not only that one, he spent 3 years for inside prison.
Let's come with here in this place.
Prison! Thief! 3 years!
In this place.
Now you give me that you are. No, you.
Why did you get it? What did you get?
I give you something. I did not know.
You know too much. You know they let me talk. As I
What's the difference between regular data and MTN data? I'll show you. With regular data, you get this. But with MTN data, you get moved right into the action like this. And this. And this. And this. With MTN data, you don't just get more, you experience more. Need loads of data to live your dream? Turn it up on MTN, the reliable data network.
The north is so beautiful. And the food, it's nothing like I have ever tasted before. The color.
Vibrant. What about the aroma?
The aroma, oh gosh. It smells just like this one.
This smells so good.
Yeah. Your Dambo Shinkafa tastes even better. How did you do it?
Onga seasoning. It's all the seasonings you need for great taste and aroma.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go. With the goodness of malts, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
Please, I didn't do this thing. They are just accusing me wrong.
Now my hand they talk to. They talk to the hand. Now my hand they talk to. What What do you talk? Hey! You do not take my money. You tell me say you go prison? Tell me now. You tell me say you go prison? Olopa, carry a come for my shop. I want you to reach station. I bet me now beat up to stupor and collect my money. You hear me so?
Man, I didn't steal your money. But it's like this jail of a thing is my fate now.
It's your portion.
Now your destiny.
You gonna produce that money?
Now your house.
Eh?
Look at
you gonna produce that money. Also you dey talk now, talk you dey talk. Eh? You gonna produce the money, then you come go jail.
Exactly. Look at him.
Get him down.
Look at him.
Carry him.
Bigger amount. Inseparable. Like taking baby.
Oh yeah.
You know what she mistake, right? You should have done a background check. I mean, how can you go and employ an ex-husband to your law?
Me no call. I want to learn in Madam No All. Madam No All. What's the power to look back? You know they let me talk. So what I go do? She must say I go school. Now I just say she right. Everything what she tell me right. Now I follow like employ person. But I don't know so that thief. I think I the help person. I don't know so that thief I the help. I can't use my money to come use my money to learn how to steal again. 50,000 naira. How much profit?
Yeah, but take it easy. It is not only you. Do you know that I thought this man was a good... Do you hear his voice? Innocent. Look at the face. I was beginning to like him more than no, sir.
The look in his face, the look in his eyes, that's not the look of a person that is guilty. Someone who is lying. I see truth in his eyes.
But you know, one day, I go let you sorrow. One day they come, you go juice your mama. Because I don't know everything I'm even born. I mean, you don't see the money there, okay, tell me you say me to say this is for innocent. I mean, but that look where you, I know they see the innocent. Why not they say they come from prison?
Mommy, I admit he didn't tell us, but we didn't ask him either. Sorry. I don't want to go to prison or coming from prison. It's not eating on pride that anyone will be singing about.
But you know, I don't worry. Sorry. Me and you now so go pick that bone. That fat bone, so go pick that together. You must have
But you know, I need to get angry with you. What kind of... Are you now supporting the kind of stupid actual thief
Defender of the universe, but you know the defender of the universe. I agree with what you are saying. But the truth is, this boy, he should have stated it when you people were interviewing him to employ him.
So is this like?
Yes.
Hey, you know, saying at the top say that today, hot body. Okay. I know more ash now. Let me now tell you the ash and no ash. The one where I won't talk now go blow your mind. Because you know, if I go wide and walk to this money, because my at the top, my daughter at the top. I don't know whether this holy don't influence my picking. Maybe there's something like this. When there's people that see me not to be stuff for what defense, she decides the boy now.
No, mommy, but the truth is that if he had stated it, we would not have given him the job, and you know it now.
Let me tell you. Married day, they don't carry a go away. Fidelis must pay my money. If Fidelis not pay my money,
You don't tie that too.
now you go pay me that money. So come back. Now you go pay me that money.
Marry, Fidelis will pay.
A criminal is waiting. People that follow company, they can never pay.
This vaccine is safe and it has been certified safe and usable by NAFTA.
Hello and welcome. It's time for another interesting package of
Everything Music.
Angelina, you dey cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
This is Talking Movies.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder.
Stop it! Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
Arise, oh compatriots. It's time to use our voice.
Beyond Six Packs.
Bills, 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 bills.
Pay the bills. Keep paying my telephone bills. Pay my bills.
gallery.
Me and my paddies.
London for what?
London for medicine.
Medicine for what?
Medicine for coffee.
Are you sickness?
To our illness. Welcome to Gist Zone.
Alright, my name is the Eselucien Wego One. Ona nyokoko nyonyo.
Ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ sì káàbọ̀ sí yàrá ìròyìn Fọlákẹ́mi Adésọ̀nà Abina ní orúkọ tèmi ń jẹ́.
Onye wete akụkọ wa nketa bụ Omenka Amarachukwu na nketa.
Masu kallo assalamu alaikum barkamu da zagayowar ranar samun yancin kai.
Hooray! NTA language is 10. 10 years of qualitative broadcast in our local languages, popularizing our language, promoting our indigenous culture, food, costume, art, monuments of our core moral and ethic values. Come, celebrate with us and help propel our indigenous language to greater heights. A win for the elevation of our local languages is a win for us all.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the YouReport link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
Jennifer Igwe a warm welcome to Newsline. Taking a life or opting for violence can never be right, no matter the case. The intentional use of physical force or power against a fellow human being can also result in strings of social and psychological effects, including deaths. On our lineup, we have 2 murder cases involving families. A father who allegedly used his son for money rituals, and another who killed his wife over 80,000 naira. Could they be cases of pure evil and uncontrolled rage? Stay tuned to find out. Then, talking about uncontrol, drug abuse can affect aspects of a person's life beyond their physical health with grave consequences. Yes, it is that dangerous. Stay on the line to find out why many in the southeast are worried and raising alarm over a drug referred to as crystal meth or mkpurumiri. Then our social diary is loaded with love stories and wedding bells. The ringing sounds of celebrations will also echo in achievements by individuals and honors by brands. We will highlight all of them, including an award of excellence received by an NTA reporter. With no further ado, let's join Claire Adelabu Abdurazak for the news. I'll be right back after the segment. Claire, nice to see you.
The feeling is mutual, Jenny, thank you. Helen, welcome to Abuja, and we begin from South Africa, where President Muhammadu Buhari is, and that's ahead of the second intra-African trade fair starting on Monday. Our State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president is there on the special invitation of the South African leader, Cyril Ramaphosa.
President Muhammadu Buhari flew into South Africa from France after a successful outing at the Paris Peace Forum and other engagements critical to the economic interests of Nigeria. On hand to receive him at King Shaka International Airport, Durban, were a high-powered South African government delegation, Nigeria's High Commissioner to South Africa, Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Industry, Trade and Investment, Director General, National Intelligence Agency, and other senior federal government officials. Building bridges for a successful African continental free trade area is the theme of the Intra-African Trade Fair, jointly organized by Afreximbank, African Union Commission, and the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat.
Well, it's very important for him to be here because, as you all know, Nigeria is the largest economy in the whole of Africa, and this is an intra-Africa thing. And without the presence of Nigeria's head of state, it would not be complete. And it is on that basis that the president of South Africa invited our president and asked specifically that he would like him to be present at the opening ceremony of the trade fair.
So what are we showcasing at the fair?
Well, we have, I believe, over 100 participants from Nigeria will be participating in the fair of various goods, even including our arts and culture, including our creative arts. We have our musicians will perform. There will be fashion parades and manufactured goods and all sorts of things like that. It is for us to advertise Nigeria to the rest of Africa. Show Africa what we possess, show Africa what we can do, and show Africa why we are the leading economy in Africa.
The Intra-African Trade Fair, to be attended by several other heads of state and government, is expected to attract for the African continent trade and investment deals valued at $40 billion. From Durban, South Africa, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And let's now move to France. And after extending the COP26 climate negotiations by an extra day, 197 countries, including Nigeria, have agreed to an outcome document known as the Glasgow Climate Pact, which firms up the global agreement to accelerate action on climate this decade. Onongie Fineface reports for us.
It was a day of mixed emotions at the closing session of COP26 negotiations
It is not enough, many, like Nigeria, said, but the outcome document sufficed as a step in the right direction.
Nigeria would also like to join others to thank you and your team for the efforts to guide this COP to a reasonable conclusion, and we hope an equitable one.
Hearing no objections, it is so decided.
197 countries adopted the document known as the Glasgow Climate Pact, with compromise and hope that 1.5 degrees is within reach, but will survive if all promises are kept.
We have also, for the first time, adopted text to scale up clean power and phase down dirty coal.
And while hope will light our way forward, we will remain vigilant that promises pledged and are promises kept.
Countries finalized the rules of implementation for the Paris Agreement and more ambitious plans to reduce emissions next year at COP27 in Egypt.
I reaffirm my conviction that we must end fossil fuel subsidies, phase out coal, put a price on carbon, build resilience of vulnerable communities against the here and now impacts of climate change.
The Glasgow Climate Pact is also a catalyst to drive action on adaptation and press forward with commitments to urgently scale up finance. Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Brilliant. Now let's take stories from home. And Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, has assured prospective investors into Nigeria's power sector of adequate government support. Anthony Forson reports that the minister notes that the federal government is desirous of developing the sector for sustainable economic growth and development.
This government is creating the enabling environment for investors to see their investment grow with return on investment.
With these soothing and assuring words, the Minister of Power said the Nigerian government is investing massively in the power sector because of its strategic role in economic development.
The power sector has particularly enjoyed various interventions that are geared towards increased availability, electricity stability, boosting liquidity and investor confidence.
The Group Managing Director of the NNPC told prospective investors that the good news for firms wishing to invest in Nigeria's oil and gas sector, the PIA just signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari, is their guarantee of a fair and transparent deal.
That law specifically provides for making sure that there's expansion in the industry, there's a much more friendly fiscal environment, there's much more stable regulatory environment, and beyond that also to make our fiscal tax very, very competitive and our power payers all over the world. And this will lead to one thing, to lead to expansion in our business. As we may all be aware, a number of talks are going on, COP26 and very many other related engagements that are going on, aim at reducing the carbon print of our businesses.
Explaining the leverages investors will benefit from private financial institutions, Adeshola Adedutan, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of First Bank, said the Nigerian government has made a substantial commitment.
I speak about the regulations and policy reform of the government, which again is creating the enabling environment that allow businesses to thrive. The Finance Act of 2020 comes to mind, which essentially was focused on reforming the tax law and aligning the tax law in the country with global best practices, supporting SME and encouraging investment in infrastructure and capital markets. The new Company and Allied Matters Act also is part of the changes that have been seen in the environment that is also creating the right environment. It's also the national policy of the program. So the ICT sector is another major sector where significant growth has been recorded.
With an environment deliberately created to secure their investments and interests, institutions have also been strengthened. In Paris, France, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And the federal government has refuted allegations by US-based non-profit organization that the Nigerian government is a sponsor of terrorism, describing it as an orchestration by those seeking to distract and weaken the ongoing onslaught against terrorism and banditry in the country. We have details of federal government statement.
In a statement issued by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, the so-called Global Advocates for Terrorism Eradication GATE should be ignored, adding, how can a serious organization accuse a government which is tackling the twin evil of terrorism and banditry with uncommon determination of sponsoring terrorism? The statement further adds it is curious about why the organization has chosen this particular time when terrorists are either surrendering in droves or running helter-skelter as a result of a renewed offensive against them by the military to orchestrate a distraction, and indicates Gates' motive is to weaken the fight against terror and banditry. The minister says the allegation is fake news and maintains that the federal government makes bold to say no administration in Nigeria has risen to the challenge of terrorism like the Buhari administration. The acquisition of myriad platforms, the boost to the morale of fighting forces and the leadership provided by President Muhammadu Buhari have combined to put the gallant troops to confront and put on the run terrorists, while Nigeria's efforts at tackling terrorism have been hailed globally. Therefore, what the armed forces need at this time is the support, encouragement and prayers of all, not the distraction of the organization masquerading as a terrorism eradication advocate. The statement adds, the federal government is therefore calling on Nigerians to disregard these allegations and continue to support the armed forces of Nigeria.
Najatu Tijani presenting federal government statement. The Nigerian security architecture will leverage on the defense attaché system to stem the emerging threats. Now, this is part of the resolution at the end of the 2021 Annual Defense Attachés Conference in Abuja, where issues of administrative bottleneck and poor funding were raised.
The conference equally enabled the review of the operational activities of the defense sessions as well as their administrative issues in the present year with a view to projecting for the year 2022.
The outcome of the conference has attested to the relevance of the defense advisors and attaché system in advancing national security and defense objectives.
Meanwhile, in view of the dynamism and complex nature of the current and emerging threats, the Defense Intelligence Agency is undertaking a self-appraisal platform for enhanced operations and intelligence gathering aimed at repositioning the intelligence-driven agency.
A self-examination mechanism in line with global best practices to ensure optimal performance evaluation has become necessary. This retreat will undoubtedly serve as an avenue to identify new lessons and challenges, discuss modalities of overcoming such challenges, and re-strategize for the future.
And lectures at the 2021 Median Retreat is focused on contemporary threat assessment and national development. The Nigerian Air Force, under Joint Operation Hadinkai, has neutralized ISWAP terrorists at Marte in Borno State. A statement by the NAF indicates that this was achieved on Friday, November 12, 2021, following credible intelligence. Local sources confirmed that several ISWAP fighters, foot soldiers, ISBA police and commanders of ISWAP faction were killed in the airstrike, including Special Militant Forces or Rujal and Commander Mohammed Barko and ISWAP Chief Imam Mohammed Malama, among others. Now, in the last 3 quarters of the year, winning the war against crime in the Gulf of Guinea reached new heights following tactical strategies deployed by the Nigerian Navy. Now, Flag Officer Commanding Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral Jason Bassa, while inaugurating the 4th Quarter Sea exercise, codenamed Ex Omimimo, assured of regular surveillance within its domain. Abolade Salami reports.
The Western Naval Command accounts for about 90% of shipping activities in Nigeria, thereby placing on its shoulders an enormous task to secure the territorial waters from all maritime thefts and piracy. The command, in the course of the year, had conducted a series of operations to establish credible presence at sea, to effectively deny criminals freedom of operation, to further cement gains recorded in the Gulf of Guinea as regard a well-secured domain. The command is inaugurating exercise Omimimo to assess operational status of ships.
The Nigerian Navy is recognized as a dominant force, indeed an hegemony within the West African sub-region and across the continent. Nigerian Navy is recognized for its capacity to be able to contain criminality within our waters.
The sea exercise will avail personnel opportunity to sharpen their anti-piracy skill as well as search and rescue operation.
In this anti-piracy operation exercise, we intend to train our men on how to search and locate vessels, how to share information between ships and helicopters in operation.
6 ships, 2 helicopters, and a detachment of Nigerian Navy Special Boat Service, alongside 2 deep project ships, will be deployed for the exercise. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
And in other news, a Thanksgiving service to mark the 2021 Interpol Week has held at the St. James Anglican Church at Sokoro in Abuja. Francis Fulm reports that the personnel of the Interpol unit were in the church to appreciate God for protection and commit their activities into the hands of God. The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, on behalf of the management and staff of the organization, felicitates with a media icon and former Director General, NTA, Mr. Shola Omole, on the occasion of his 70th birthday. The NTA joins numerous loved ones and admirers to celebrate the public relations and wish him a most glorious birthday. Malam Ibn Mohammed praised God Almighty to continue to guide and protect Mr. Mole and grant him longevity to continue to serve God and humanity in robust health. Now, it is true that execution of projects that are desired by the electorates close gaps between government and the people. Now, this resonated in Gombe Metropolis when Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahya, on inspection and payment of compensation for township road projects, was warmly welcomed by residents. Emmanuel Akila reports.
The residents of Londo Medorawa, Malang Inna, Kagara and Bolari came in numbers to appreciate Governor Inuwa Yahya's administration for the township road projects promised and have been delivered to them. While other projects are ongoing, the governor is out to pay compensation to those whose properties are affected by the new projects that have been awarded, with the contractors due to mobilize to site in a fortnight.
We've embarked on this journey with their support. We pledge to provide infrastructure like roads, water, good schools, good and quality health care to our people. And you've seen it on their faces. Everybody is happy and we are equally happy. We are determined to deliver come rain, come sunshine.
The designs, specifications and cost of the project are explained by the Commissioners of Finance and that of Works.
Cumulatively, government is paying almost about 400 million to ensure that we provide corridor for the contractors to be able to perform their duties and ensure that these roads are completed within the shortest period of time.
The residents pledged their support for more dividends of democracy. All land belongs to the government. The compensation is for structures we put up. The people's appreciation go with 2 feathers on the governor's cap as he bagged the traditional titles of Madawaki of Bolari and Sarkinyaki of Malang Inna in Gombe. Emmanuel Akira, NTA News.
And going by statistics from the International Diabetes Federation, about 537 million adults are now estimated to be living with the condition globally. Now, 6.7 million people are also said to have died from the disease, a higher percentage of this number from Africa, even after 100 years that insulin was discovered. Our correspondent Ntalive brings us details as the global community marks the 2021 World Diabetes Day.
50-year-old Peter Agada, an architect, has been living with type 2 diabetes for 22 years now, a health condition where the body loses the ability to utilize food intake, leading to elevated glucose in the blood. A worrisome trend, however, is that more children are coming down with diabetes, while about 60 to 70% of people walking the streets do not know they have the disease until complications set in.
Aging is a risk factor. The other risk factor is overweight and obesity. A family history. Diabetes can affect the eye and cause blindness. Blood gets to our brain. Diabetes can cause stroke. There are people who may actually show what we call the classical symptoms of diabetes. Losing weight, drinking excessive water, going to the toilet, to pass urine more frequently.
Managing the medical condition gulps as high as 10 to 30,000 naira a month. That's why those who wear the shoes are calling for government to intervene in subsidizing cost of diabetic drugs. This is in line with the focus of this year's commemoration, access to diabetes care. If not now, when?
We encourage them to consume complex carbohydrates and not refined carbohydrates, and a lot of, vegetables.
The projection is that by year 2030, 643 million people in the world would be diabetic, and by 2045, the figure would rise to 784 million. In Abuja, Ntalive, NTA News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has intercepted 16.85 kilograms of cocaine and heroin worth over 4.9 billion naira at the Apapa Seaport and Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. Now, 4 persons are currently being investigated for 13.65 kilograms of cocaine seized on board a ship MV Catera from Santos, Brazil on Sunday, November 7, 2021, while 5 persons have been arrested in Lagos and Delta states in connection with another 3.2 kilograms of heroin found on a passenger at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Meanwhile, more than 823.19 kilograms of other illicit substances have been intercepted in operations conducted across the country, leading to the arrest of 11 suspects. Let's take some sports stories now. First from Ekiti, where contingents from the state of the Federation have arrived for this year's edition of the National Festival for Arts and Culture, NAFest, holding in Ado-Ekiti. Ayodeji Okunshakin, who visited the festival camps, reports that the contingents are in high spirit for the week-long festival.
Visits to the festival camps at Ikere and Ado-Ekiti showed that the venues have come alive with the arrival of contingents from the various states of the Federation in readiness for the festival. Ekiti Parapo Pavilion, as well as the State Civic Center, shows the level of preparations for the festival.
Everything is ready. The states are here. Some of the states are still on the road. They will be here. We wish them safe trip. Ekiti is ready to host the world.
Ekiti, in consonance with what they claim, I think the state is very, very prepared.
The opening ceremony of the festival we held on Monday at Ekiti Parapo Pavilion, Ado-Ekiti, and Nigeria's cultural heritage will be reflected through various competitive and non-competitive events at the week-long festival. From Ado-Ekiti, Ayodeji Okunshakin, NTA News.
All right, that was cultural sports of some kind. So let's join our sports correspondent now, Omoyewe Unobon, for the real sports update.
The Super Eagles have arrived Lagos ahead of Tuesday's 2022 World Cup qualifying fixture against the Blue Sharks of Cape Verde. Nigeria remained top of Group C on 12 points, just 2 ahead of their next opponent, Cape Verde. The Eagles need just a point from Tuesday's game to guarantee their place in the final round of qualifiers and must avoid a repeat of what happened the last time they played at home in the same venue, the Teslim Balogun Stadium. Football fans have continued to praise the performance of the Super Eagles for the positive reaction they showed by defeating Liberia 2-0 at Tajam, Morocco.
It's a good thing for us because we are still in with a big chance. Ordinarily, we should not expect anything other than a win and all 3 points.
The excitement of polo game has continued to give polo fans something special about the game. On day 5 and 6 of the tournament at Kefi Polo Ranch, 3 matches were played between Makomas and Standard. Makomas, the best performing team, emerged victorious after winning by 9-5.5, while the second match between Profile and Trapcom ended 7-7.5 in favor of Trapcom, and Ocean Marine defeated Captain by 8-5.
Everyone should come and watch. It's a really, really good game, and in Nigeria, the atmosphere is fantastic.
The Nigeria cricket team are battle ready to face Tanzania and Uganda at the opening games at Kahanga International Cricket Stadium in Kigali, Rwanda, ahead of World Cup qualifiers clash. The yellow-green Nigeria senior men's cricket team will on Wednesday begin at the 4-6 match session for the ticket to represent Africa at the 2022 T20 World Cup in Australia. With sports updates, Omoyemi Onobun.
And that ends the news from our Abuja studios. I am Claire Delabu Abdul Razak. Jennifer will return in just a moment after the commercials. But let me also remind you to join the NTA in our campaign against rape and rapists.
There will be unlimited joy in over 5,000 homes every day this season in the Glow Joy Unlimited Extravaganza. 5 cars every month, 100 generators, TVs, and fridges every week. 5,000 free airtime and data winners every day. Simply recharge up to 500 Naira during the week to qualify. Dial *611# now to enter the Glow Joy Unlimited Extravaganza.
The Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, cordially invites Commissioners of Finance, Permanent Secretaries, Ministry of Finance, Accountants General of the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, as well as other stakeholders to the National Council on Finance and Economic Development, NACOFED 2021. Date, Monday 15th to Tuesday 16th November 2021. Venue, Lagos Marriott Hotels, Ikeja, Lagos. Time 9 a.m. daily. Aliu Ahmed, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. Announcer.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning, getting set for another day. Another chance to change my story. I believe in my hustle. I know be lazy person. But life is just a not big bass moves. If it don't close, I go find another. If I fall down, I go try to recover. If you never walk me, I know they bother. Cause I believe, say, I go surely prosper. They don't get that shit, won't be. No matter what they say, we move.
Whatever life brings, we move. Turn up your dreams. MTN, everywhere you go.
The Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, wished to announce a 2-day meeting of UBEC management and executive chairman of states and FCT Universal Basic Education boards. Details: arrival Monday 15th November. Meeting days Tuesday and Wednesday 16th and 17th November 2021. Venue Golden Tulip Essential Hotel, 23 to 27 Etete Road off Adesua Road, Benin City, Edo State. Time 10 a.m. prompt daily. Departure Thursday, November 18th, 2021. Theme: enhancing access, equality and standard in basic education through technology-driven initiatives. The meeting will be declared open by the Executive Governor of Edo State, Dr. Godwin Obaseki. UBEC. Education for all is the responsibility of all. UBEC. Announcer.
Public notice: the Nigerian Communications Commission, in exercise of its functions under the Nigerian Communications Act 2003, has published the final information memorandum for the upcoming auction of the 3.5 GHz spectrum band and compiled responses to stakeholders' comments on the information memorandum as part of the 5G technology deployment plan on November 10, 2021. Stakeholders are by this notice invited to peruse these two documents indicating the start date of receipt of applications for the auction. The documents are to be found in the Commission's website at www.ncc.gov.ng. The attention of stakeholders is drawn particularly to Section 1. All applications to participate at the auction must reach the Commission on or before Wednesday, November 24, 2021, and should be addressed to the Executive Vice Chairman, Nigerian Communications Commission, Plot 423, Agui-Ironsi Street, Maitama, Abuja. Attention, Director Spectrum Administration and Chairman, 5G Auction Committee, Professor Umar Garba Ambata, Executive Vice Chairman, Chief Executive, Nigerian Communications Commission. Announcer, NCC, Connecting Nigeria.
Hey there, what's on your bucket list? Would you like to travel the world, live your best life? What if I told you you could blow right this minute and do everything on that list? Airtel is saying thank you to all loyal customers. You stand a chance to win up to 100 million naira with guaranteed cash tokens in the Airtel Recharge and Blow promo. How awesome is that? All you have to do is recharge to win. For more information, dial *444*4# to enter for the draw. Everyone's a winner, so hurry now. The more you recharge, the more you win.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
No problem, Ma. We will deliver the fabrics by tomorrow.
Mommy, have you seen my other shoes?
Check under your bed.
Thank you, Mommy.
As a business owner and a mom, sometimes I feel like I've got 1,000,001 things to do.
Mommy, what another word for Pa?
Strength.
Thank you, Mommy.
The new Tasty Tom Jollof Noodles makes cooking one less thing to worry about. Tasty and delicious jollof noodles, just the way I like it.
Something smells delicious. Do I smell jollof? Noodles? But I thought I smelled jollof.
This is not just any type of noodles. This is the new Tasty Tom Jollof Noodles.
The color is just like jollof. And the jollof tastes delicious.
Mommy, more, please.
Relax.
New Tasty Tom Jollof Noodles. Delicious noodles, the Jollof way.
When times are tough, we know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. It's great value. It protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems, which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
Welcome back. Naturally, relations, especially those coming from same parents, are supposed to look after one another in any given circumstances. Unfortunately, this is not so at Garkin Alkali in Yobe State, as residents woke up one fateful day to the sad news of two brothers who, for reasons best known to them, reportedly amputated each other's arms during a duel with cutlasses. Since the incident occurred a few days ago, police in Yobe State have intensified investigations to unravel the root cause of the bloody fight. Adam Yusuf Ali is on the trail of this development for Newsline.
Youth in Garin Alkali, Bursari local government area of Yobe State have over the years noted in good books of Nigerian Police Yobe State Command due to flagrant disregard to laws, especially in disputes arising between them, not minding the consequences of their actions. One of such scenarios was on the 8th of November this year, when two brothers, aged 25 and 26, were alleged to have amputated each other's left arm during a fight that created panic among the peace-loving people in the area. While confirming the incidents, the Public Relations Officer, Yobe State Command, ASP Abdul Karim Dungus, says the victims are the Bukar Muhammad and Bukar Audu, who are in critical conditions, are receiving treatment at the Federal Medical Center, which is slowing the pace of their investigations.
We are still investigating the case and the relationship.
As part of investigations procedures into the matter, the amputated hands are kept at the hospital for onward presentation as evidence in the court of law. As of now, preliminary investigations reveal that the area is famous for agricultural activities, thereby attracting youths who partake in crop production and rearing of animals that usually do not end well despite efforts of security agencies to maintain law and order in the area. This is the more reason the police spokesman is appealing to the public to stop taking laws into their hands by reporting their grievances to the police for appropriate action.
Violence should never be an option. The police are just giving useful information. There is anxiety in the southeast over a new drug in town, said to be gradually destroying young people. It is called crystal meth and Mkpurumini in local palace. Considering the damage this drug has brought on the youth, Ntiche community in Oyi local government area of Anambra State is taking drastic measures as punishment for abusers. Let's hear from Udo Okoronkwo Chukwu what the punishment is.
Whichever way it is taken, crystal meth creates a false sense of happiness and well-being, causes strong feeling of confidence, hyperactivity and energy. Yet, it is a dangerous and potent chemical, and as with all drugs, a poison that first acts as a stimulant but then begins to systematically destroy the body, causing aggression, psychotic behavior and potential heart and brain damage. The recent discovery of the illicit drug use and business among youth in Ntalive community is a challenge that members of the community have decided to solve in their own way.
It is everywhere. Women are taking it. The teenage women, they are taking it everywhere. From 15 years, even in primary school, a wrap of it is 1,000 naira. And instead of them, because they don't have money now, they steal in order to make it. So the youth went on rampage, say, he must put that into a stop.
Dr. Chukwuweta Honora is a consultant psychiatrist with the State Neuropsychiatric Hospital. He says crystal meth addiction is a menace that needs to be checked from the source, as the hospital records 10 to 15 cases every week.
This drug, how it works is that it stimulates a part of the brain to release dopamine and norepinephrine, or what they call noradrenaline, and serotonin. So it makes the people awake, alert, and it improves their mood, gives them this high. Though I don't support the idea of flogging addicts, because that doesn't cure addiction. Okay, because when you flog someone, you put the person in pain, the next thing you go and look for a substance to deal with the pain.
The Assistant State Commander, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Dr. Chinwe Thompson, says the command has made several arrests and mounted sensitization campaign to communities, motor parks and schools in a bid to alert the people on the danger of the drug.
We've even destroyed the clandestine laboratory here in Anambra when we discovered that they were manufacturing, sending a wave for them, and later it was sanitized. We've arrested so many of them, we've taken so many of them to court, jailed so many of them. It's on record.
More responsibility is therefore expected from the government, family, and religious bodies.
Drug abuse is a destroyer and silent serial killer. Say no to drugs. Remember the story of the late 14-year-old student of Premier Academy Lugbe in Abuja, Karen Apaga. The matter is still hanging as the coalition of civil society organizations against gender-based violence has continued to champion the cause for redress in the horror that was allegedly perpetrated against her. Questions are still being asked about the expected roles of concerned authorities. This time, institutions of government are being called to speak on the matter to enable accountability and justice prevail. Our correspondent, Ilyasu Onotu Yakubu, who has been following the matter, brings us update.
When this young mother of six, Mrs. Ifebuche Chukwu Eze, came home to their one-room apartment at number 25 Taylor Avenue, Cold Camp, Enugu, to find her 7-year-old son, Chimdalo, missing, it was like a bad joke. Little did she know the horror that would unfold in the next couple of days.
Wednesday, 20th of October,
Since my son Chimdal got missing on Wednesday, 20th October, I have been in prayers even in the midnight that my son should come back alive. Not until last Saturday when I learned that my husband has confessed that he killed Chimdal.
So, I'm speechless.
The case of the missing boy was reported to the police by the father himself. While the search lasted, the neighborhood held meetings on how to unravel the mystery. Even the children declared a 21-day prayer session for their missing colleague, Chimdalo.
Some of people living here noticed when the man took his child, that man came back saying that he didn't see the boy. So we started investigating within ourselves, telling the man that we are going to take him to where he will swear. After so much pressure, he later confessed to us that he's the person that did it. He told us that there's one man asked him to bring his child for sacrifice. So he took the boy to that river. When the boy started calling him, Daddy, Daddy, what's the problem? He told the little boy that trying to baptize him. So after the second time, the third time, they now drowned the little boy. So after doing the sacrifice, they now used white clothes to tie the boy and buried him close to the river. We now call police to come and arrest him.
According to a release by the State Police Command, the 36-year-old Chidi Onyishi, who hails from Nsoka in Enugu State, led the police to arrest his alleged accomplice, a 95-year-old blind man, Pastor Okeke Enokwo. He also led the security operatives to a stream in Abakbanike, Enugu, where the decomposing body of the minor was exhumed from a shallow grave. While the culprits are cooling off in police custody, the Enugu state government has visited the distraught mother of the dead child, presenting her with an upkeep sum of 500,000 naira in the interim, promising to ensure that justice is delivered.
Everything that needs to be done will be done by Enugu state government to ensure that we find justice. And the governor personally has sent us to come and reassure you that you will not stand alone.
Meanwhile, the exhumed remains of the minor has since been buried.
We apologize for the mix-up there. That was a story of a man who killed his son and buried him in Enugu, and alleged case of ritual killing. Now we go back to the story of late Karen, the 14-year-old student of Premier Academy, whose case we've been following.
4 months have passed since young and promising Karen Hapochapaga gave up the ghost tragically in a yet to be ascertained circumstances which culminated into her death. Karen's demise immediately generated heated debate between her parents, the civil society organization on one side, and the school where she was alleged to have been raped and infected as a result on the other hand. Whilst this lasted, The FCT Police Command waded in with investigations to unravel the mystery, an effort which the first party deemed unsatisfactory and requested the Police High Command through petitions to transfer the case to the First Gender Office. The latest twist to the debacle, according to late Karen's mother and the CSOs, spark from the silence and inactions of Ministry of Education and that of Women Affairs, which have statute duties over safety of children and educational institutions, describing such as emboldened perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence.
That was 1st of November. I was called to the first gender unit where I wrote a petition against where I wrote my statement stating all that happened during, before and after, that led to my daughter's death, and also what has happened since then. So the first gender unit is now acting on the case and investigations have started. So far, that's the position of the Karen Happel case.
4 months after we have submitted another letter to the Ministries of Women Affairs and Education to say we are not happy with the way they are handling it, if they are handling it, or to update us on where they are. And we're giving them an ultimatum. We're going to show you copies and evidences of this email, of this letter that has been taken to the ministries. If we do not hear from them, we would be doing a nationwide protest. We don't want this case to die. There are many Karens out there, and we know that it is not the end. But we are hoping that Karen's death will not be in vain.
The Federal Ministry of Education, through its Director Press, Ben Bemgong, speaking off camera, says private schools are not under the purview of the ministry, but rather under the supervision of states, and in this case, the FCT Education Secretariat. However, the Ministry of Women Affairs says it has keenly and discreetly worked with the FCT administration and the police on investigation to ensure that justice prevails in the matter.
There are other things that people need to understand about public office. We don't work in cross purposes with one another. We don't antagonize one another, but we work in collaboration with one another. Immediately the news broke out, the minister took a positive step and realized that police have stepped in, FCT administration have stepped in. All that she did was to ensure that justice was done because those agencies are involved, and she personally contacted those who are in charge of those agencies and the ministry, and ensure that they do not only take the matter seriously, but let it reach the desired conclusion.
While humanity anxiously awaits the outcome of investigations to unearth the circumstances which led to the death of the 14-year-old Karen Hapuch, Newsline promises to keep you, the viewer, updated until the truth is revealed.
We are not giving up. We will be on the case until justice is served. Now, couples would generally expect to live a lifetime of peace and family harmony. Husband and wife do not wish for physical harm or violence as their lot. Some marriages, however, are hurt by frequent quarrels, occasional violence, and sometimes homicide. Such is the case of a middle-aged man in Benin who allegedly killed his wife over an unpaid debt. Ifoma Okafor is following the development.
The 53-year-old technician has been living with his wife for 26 years now. Here in Ahamu Street, Ewotubo, there was no inclination that someday a gruesome quarrel will erupt and the husband will have the blood of wife on his hands. Trouble started when the suspect, the husband, Mr. Monde, borrowed the sum of 150,000 naira from his wife for house keep. When it was time to pay back, the man rather paid 75,000 naira instead of the whole amount of 150,000 naira. Quarrel started when the wife demanded for the balance of 85,000 naira and the husband could not provide. The suspect, who is now in police net, narrates his ordeal.
She now said she needs the balance now. I told her to wait till October ending, which is October that just ended now. She said no. So later she came back again, and I went to the back of my house to avoid her. So she came and held onto my shirt and started dragging me. So, and I said she should leave me. Said no, then, and I just pushed her so that I can go away. So my sock away now, the water she used in washing a plate and the rest of that did not slip her leg. She now used her head to hit the edge of the sock away of the beam. So I'm not happy about it. I don't really know what led to it, because before the incident I told her that we should stop and take things easy. I've been together for the past 26 years as husband and wife.
The police say investigation is on.
He narrated and accepted to fighting the woman, and then which he pushed her and led to her that he has made that confession to the Nigerian police. But still the police is carrying out its investigation, because this is an offense against the state. And I believe he will be charged at the end of the investigation. He will be charged to court appropriately.
It is expected that the law will take its course ultimately.
Anger management is very important. There's a thin line between life and death. Anything can happen during a fight. Anything. We'll take a break now. Newsline continues shortly.
Enjoy the reward that sharing brings with the Airtel Family Plan. Get bonus talk time, SMS, and data for each family member you share with. Dial *141# now.
Now everybody knows
Airtel, the smartphone network.
The House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values, in conjunction with Ent Design Resources Hub Limited, is organizing a 3-day national conference on information for all state governments of the Federation, state houses of assembly, and relevant private sector, with a theme: Information as a Tool for National Development. Date 17th to 19th November 2021. Time 10 a.m. daily. Venue: NAF Conference Center, Kado, Abuja. Announcer: Honorable Odebumi Olusegun Dokun, Chairman, House Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values.
No problem, Ma. We will deliver the fabrics by tomorrow.
Mommy, have you seen my other shoes?
Check under your bed.
Thank you, Mommy.
As a business owner and a mom, sometimes I feel like I've got 1,000,001 things to do.
Mommy, what another word for Pa?
Strength.
Thank you, Mommy.
The new Tasty Tom Jollof Noodles makes cooking one less thing to worry about. Tasty and delicious jollof noodles, just the way I like it.
Something smells delicious. Do I smell jollof? Noodles? But I thought I smelled jollof.
This is not just any type of noodles. This is the new Tasty Tom Jollof Noodles.
The color is just like jollof. And the jollof tastes delicious.
Mommy, more, please.
Relax.
New Tasty Tom Jollof Noodles. Delicious noodles the jollof way.
You know, everything in life has a recipe.
Really?
Yes, dear. Like the recipe to rule a great empire. The recipe to be the best of the best. The recipe to grow big and thrive. And the
recipe to lead the world. Every recipe is about making what you want from what you have.
So, I have the recipe to be whatever I want.
Exactly. You have the recipe. What will you make?
Nestle. Good food, good life.
How to make a perfect bowl of love? A perfect blend of taste that brings every ingredient to life. The fusion of different spices. The unique aroma that rejuvenates your senses. The heartwarming deliciousness. And the satisfaction that comes from every bite, which makes you say, I love my Indomie.
I am always thinking about your well-being, so when I learned that 7 out of 10 children in Nigeria are iron deficient and this slows their growth, affects learning, and can cause anemia, I got worried.
Mom is right. 1 sachet of Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus a day provides 50% of your child's daily iron need to support proper growth and learning.
That's reassuring.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
When?
Hey, it's Friday!
Party tonight?
After this long day of work, and you too, since when?
The new Freshio. Nutritious goodness every day. Grab your bottle now.
Welcome back. Now to our social diary. I will start with a wedding ceremony with the unique ambience of the NTA family and scores of well-wishers who joined the Executive Director News, Muhammad Labo, in celebration of his daughter's marriage. Rukayat Abdullahi Labo got married to Abdul Majid Mustafa Abdullah. Achari Maxwell reports that the elaborate ceremony took place at Arewa House, Kaduna.
The sweet love story started 3 years ago, and with the dowry payment and other marriage rights, it has taken a lifetime commitment.
Okay, I was at the airport sitting, waiting for my flight. Then he came and approached me. He asked for my name and I told him. Then from there we started talking. He's a calm person, very caring, and he's an intelligent person.
Rukaya is an exceptional person. She's amazing. She's a very smart and intelligent woman, goal-driven. And yeah, of course, any man who has such a lady is definitely lucky to have such.
He's a family man. He helps people. At any time he gets opportunity to help someone, he will do that effortlessly.
This reception put together to unveil the bride, traditionally known as Budankai. Rukayat, a barrister, joined in the event by her hubby, Abdul Majid, and his guest from far away India via Zoom.
Amaria, she's just doing some Zoom with the latest couple, the angle. But they see me from India like this as I talk to them.
As Barrister Rukayat and Engineer Abdul Majid begin their matrimonial journey of a lifetime, friends and family wish them well.
So she has to be very, very patient and very understanding. And she also has to be very respectful. And she's also make sure that they always resolve their differences amicably without informing any outside party.
I wish Rukayat and Abdul Majid happy married life full of God's blessings.
And she have to understand and help her husband what he wants. And the husband have to be patient with her because the husband is the senior.
I pray Almighty Allah grant them heaven and a very long married life till death do them apart.
NTA family is fully in support of the engagement.
There is nothing as bad as lack of communication in any relationship or in any union. If something happens, talk about it. Do not hold information and do not say you are angry so you not talk to the person. If you do not talk to each other and communicate, you will never understand each other because you cannot read each other's mind.
They have to understand each other very well and should not report their issues to any outsider.
We wish the young couple the very best. Congratulations. To another wedding, Kaduna literally stood still as it played host to cream of personalities from far and near who trooped to the city to witness the wedding ceremony of the daughter of the deputy governor of the state, Nasiru Yusuf Gawuna. Awal Salisu witnessed the memorable wedding and now reports.
The wedding solemnization, which took place at the Al Furqan Jumaat Mosque Kano, was witnessed by the serving and former governors, deputy governors, senators, members of the House of Representatives, traditional rulers, top political office holders, and members of business community, among others. The marriage contract was sealed after the payment of 300,000 naira as dowry by the groom's representative.
اللهم صل على محمد النبي وأزواجه أمهات المؤمنين وذريته وأهل بيته كما صليت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد.
The wedding ceremony witnessed display of cultural heritage. The ceremony was earlier kicked off with Kamun Amaria, which also brought together families of the bride and groom. That, of course, was not the end of the celebration, as dinner followed and in grand style. Ahmad Abdulwan Muhammad and Fatima Nasir Yusuf Gawuna are happy not only for the historic day, but also the crowd that gathered in their honors.
I feel excited, happy. I'm glad that everybody took their time to come over. Just hoping and praying for peace and safe trip for everyone that came back home.
The new couple have no doubt steps into marriage fully equipped with words of advice from the elders who have been there.
We pray to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide them.
And I pray that God will give them the patience, the tolerance to be with one another as husband and wife for the rest of their lives.
I want her to copy from the training she has received from her mother. That's my wife.
Our advice is for them to continue to mutually respect each other.
It's patient, patient, patient. Marriage is all about patience.
Forgiveness, tolerance, support for each other, putting each other in prayer, and they'll be faithful to each other.
We are giving them sufficient training that they can be able to take care of themselves and take care of their husbands.
The guests were treated to dishes amid entertainment by different cultural groups.
That was the wedding ceremony of the daughter of the deputy governor of Kano State, and we wish them bliss and blessings. Still on marriage, the dream of joining in marriage Aisha to daughter of former Director General, National Orientation Agency, Idi Farouk, and Al-Hamza Ukorodudu has been achieved last Friday at Sultan Bello Mosque, Kaduna. Performing the marriage rites, Imam Suleiman Mohammed admonished the new couple to exemplify good conduct to enjoy blissful life. Haruna Mohammed tells us more.
Reading from the Holy Quran, followed by payment of 50,000 naira dowry to the family of the bride and signing of certificates. Imam Suleiman Muhammad, having approved the marriage between Aisha to Farouk and Al-Hamza Okorodudu, says they must live according to guidelines of Islam.
Now it's not boyfriend and girlfriend again, it's a wife. So he has to follow all the tenets of Islam.
May them be blessed with kids and Duriya Daiba. Marriage is a contract, and having accepted to be together, they should be seen to be together.
A grand reception put together in honor of the couple.
Celebrate excellence. Oh my God, this is beautiful.
Wife of late head of state, Ajoke Mohammed, led cutting of the cake and toast to beginning of a new journey by Aisha.
Celebrating the beginning of a journey of forever that they're gonna journey together.
The husband should take the wife as a sister, friend, lover and all. And whatever difference they have should be resolved in their bedroom, not bringing a third party.
They should learn to confide in each other and not rush into going to complain to their parents.
We pray, of course, that they will be blessed with children.
There was enough to joy and happiness of guests.
She is as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. She has a fantastic heart. She cares for people. Above all, she's God-fearing.
They must also always learn to pray to God and give the foundation of their life to God for direction.
We also pray and wish both families a very, very long life and prosperity.
They should keep themselves as one. If anything goes dark, they should sit down together and sort it out amicably. Introduce a third party, always destroy marriage.
Congratulations to the new couple. From weddings, we go to what Mamadou is doing. Now, all the medalists from the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympic Games have been honored and rewarded by Mamadou, a brand of PZ Wilmar. Mamadou decided to celebrate the Nigerian spirit displayed by the athletes. Samuel Johnson reports that cash gifts were also given to them.
She have. Yes, they are again. Well, she goes up into the gold medal position.
For defeating their odds and limitations through brilliant performance at the Tokyo Paralympic Games, PZ Wilmar decided to celebrate the Nigerian spirit of doggedness and dedication which the athletes displayed at the Games. Managing Director of PZ Wilmar expressed satisfaction with the sports talents, who he said Mamadou recognizes their efforts.
We have a huge plantation where we are actually growing palm oil domestically. On the other side, we also keep thinking about how do you promote Nigerian talents? Who are the real heroes who actually resonate with the culture of our company and whose also their character signifies with our brand is actually the unsung heroes. So that's why we decided that we will bring in the medal winners of Olympics and Paralympic Games.
We are here to say whatever it is that you want to do, whatever sector of life that it is that you want to go play in and win, go do it. push limits within that sector and go for the wins.
Some of the athletes say the honor done to them will inspire greater performance in future sporting events.
Thank God that I'm receiving this honor today, because in my home, I made Mamado my brand. It's my brand. And I made myself an ambassador of Mamado. Everything in my home is all about Mamado.
It's not just about going to win the medal. Yes, you go to win medal, but you need welcoming people who will show you love. And this Mamado, they are the only company that has come out to show us love.
I'm so happy for the Mamados that encourage us with this award.
For the Paralympic Committee, the celebration of the medalists by Mamado is an impetus for more achievements.
We love it. It's nice. This will encourage other companies to to associate themselves with the para athletes.
Mamado, a brand of PZ Wilmar, produces household items including Mamado oil, bread spread, and seasoning, among others.
Thank you, Mamado. Let's pay some bills. Newsline will continue shortly.
Fresh for your days. Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, fights 99% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh. Protected and fresh. Protected and fresh. Let's take a picture. Protected and fresh. Still fresh, still protected. Feeling cool and protected. All day confidence to get close. Oh, yeah, take it close. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula.
Niger Kings. Get ready as Budweiser brings in La Liga's Roberto Carlos and myself for an epic face-off on the field in the first ever Budweiser Game of Kings football tournament. Niger, it's on. In this battle of the greats, you have a chance to manage either myself or Roberto Carlos's team as they play alongside Nigerian players.
Simply drink Budweiser. Get your participation code under the crown cork and visit budweiser.com/Game of Kings to apply as manager and for a chance to watch the match live.
Game of Kings is brought to you by Budweiser, the official sponsors of the EPL and La Liga.
Let them know there's only one king. You know, everything in life has a recipe.
Really?
Yes, dear. Like the recipe to rule a great empire. The recipe to be the best of the best. The recipe to grow big and thrive. And the recipe to lead the world. Every recipe is about making what you want from what you have.
So, I have the recipe to be whatever I want.
Exactly. You have the recipe. What will you make?
Nestle. Good food, good life.
Shout out to the ones where they run things. Behind the scene, they know they see you. Oh, you're doing well, oh my brother.
My schedule can be tight most days, and because I'm always on the go, I need a quick snack or drink to keep me going. And that's why I love my Hollandia yogurt. Every day I choose Hollandia yogurt because it contains protein, calcium, vitamin A, B vitamins, and vitamin H, which my body needs. Hollandia yogurt comes in 2 variants, plain sweetened and strawberry. Wholesome nourishment from your favorite brand.
Niger Kings. Get ready as Budweiser brings in. It's on. In this battle of the greats, you have a chance to manage either myself or Roberto Carlos's team as they play alongside Nigerian players.
Simply drink Budweiser. Get your participation code under the crown cork and visit budweiser.com/Game of Kings to apply as manager and for a chance to watch the match live.
Game of Kings is brought to you by Budweiser, the official sponsors of the EPL and La Liga.
Let 'em know there's only one king.
Me and you, let's get to Ghana. Hey! Right, Jalo.
This is Ghana. You've come here to seek for greener pastures. Make it your worthwhile.
Any guinea fowl you see, say Guinea. Guinea fowl has nothing to do with Guinea. It's just the name of the fowl. So Ghana Jollof, what is it? Is it Nigerian beans?
What?
Have we made before?
No.
Jasper! Help me!
What is the most incredible festival? Is it Oktoberfest or St. Patrick's Day? What about the infamous Fire Festival? Or what if I told you that the most incredible festival hasn't even happened yet? For 2 weekends, on the 13th and 19th of November, in Lagos and Port Harcourt, get ready. Music, food, art, fun, and all the best stout in the world. The International Stout Festival presents Most Incredible Out of Niger. Special performances by Ja Rule, Made Kuti, Niniola, and Tubaba. Hosted by Ovi. Register today at www.mostincredibleoutofniger.com. Brought to you by Trophy Extra Special Stout.
Welcome back. The saying, give honor to whom honor is due, best describes the prestigious Zik Prize in Leadership Awards 2020 edition. Initiated by the Public Policy Research and Analysis Center, the event recognized 10 distinguished Nigerians who have demonstrated exceptional qualities in leadership in their various fields of endeavor. Amaka Owo witnessed the glitz and glamour of the event and now reports.
The 2020 Zik Prize in Leadership Awards was established to highlight the legacies of the foremost nationalist and great Zik of Africa, late Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Members of the advisory board of the Public Policy Research and Analysis Center went down memory lane to explain the emergence of this noble platform for recognizing prominent Nigerians.
And we proceeded to seek Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe's permission to get this going. The Zik Prize has evolved to become one of Africa's most respected award schemes for leadership and professional excellence.
The royal father of the day, Serikin Kano Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, and other traditional rulers present expressed their belief in the strength of having a greater nation.
We must set up a task team that will prepare a blueprint for African professionals in the diaspora to return home and help build Mother Africa.
Then came the cherished moments as the Group Managing Director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Director General, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, and former Senate President received the 2020 Zik Prize in Leadership Awards for Public Service.
What it means to me is that this is more challenge because people watch what you do, people expect you to do well. And it's not magic, it's about commitment, it's about getting people to do the right thing.
Nigeria, we have a lot of potentials.
So that was part of the reason
as you can see and you hear,
performance in 2020.
In terms of leadership, we are not lacking the leadership per se, but our ability to harness and explore what we have in our leaders.
I feel that my services in the past has been very adequately recognized.
Zik Prize in Professional Leadership was given to the Group Managing Director, AVN Holdings, and Managing Director of the Nigerian Sovereignty Investment Authority.
We believe that there's so much more to be achieved. This is not the ultimate prize. We'll continue to excel and be diligent in what we do.
Society, your company, your corporation
your community will always recognize that person who works very hard.
Other categories of the awards include the Zik Prize in Leadership for Good Governance, received by Lagos and Nasarawa State's governors.
For consistent 26 years, they have continued to keep faith with what they truly believed in. I want to thank you again for doing this for our country.
This will ginger us to do more. For me, it has always been my principle. Anytime that I'm praised, anytime that I'm given an opportunity, I'm commended, anytime I feel like doing more.
Other recipients of the prestigious awards include Minister of State for Health, Senator Olorunimbe Mamora, President African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, and former First Lady of Akwa Ibom State, Ekaite Godswill Akpabio. Since 1995, the Zik Prize in Leadership has been at the forefront of ensuring accountable leadership in Nigeria and across Africa.
I hope more Nigerians get inspired. Let's go for our last commercial break.
Like a bird needs wings to fly, you need skills to be productive. No matter the level of your education, ITF can train you to acquire skills in areas like mechatronics, metal machining, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, information and communication technology, ICT, culinary art, and agriculture. Acquire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth. Say no to unemployment and poverty.
I'll spread my wings and fly so high. I'll reach for the stars, yeah, it's time.
Industrial Training Fund. Developing the nation's human resource.
Did you hear the super exciting news? What have you heard? GoTV's going super.
Are you serious?
Bringing new channels with super awesome novellas, super duper kid shows,
All right.
and super slamming WWE 24/7. All at the super cool price of 5,500 Naira. Good. Get GoTV's brand new package. GoTV Super.
Glad to have you back. The remains of late Right Reverend Tanimu Samari Aduda have been laid to rest at the family compound in Karu, Abuja, after the performance of all Christian burial rites. Haman Jabani reports that the burial rite was a celebration of life.
The service of song sets the tune for the homeward journey of late Right Reverend Tanimu Samari Aduda, who died on the 20th of October 2021 at 76. The scriptures were read by his children Philip, Gabriel, and Grace, while testimonies were unending from Vice President of the Senate, Speaker, House of Representatives, President and former members of the National Assembly, friends, professional colleagues, and top government officials. The sermon was brief but simple and clear.
The only thing that will be remembered for was what was done for the Lord. So let's stop all this craze for, material things on earth here.
At the funeral service, officiated by the Dean, Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Buba Ali Lamido, there were admonition to Nigerians to live righteous life.
Whatever you will do it for the sake of God. Do it for the sake of God.
Interment took place at the family compound at Karo FCT.
First start by thanking the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for his kind words and his messages, and thank God for his mercies, and thank him for this day that we have seen and that we have successfully buried our father.
He can sacrifice for his children and for every other person.
I think Baba lived a very good life. He will forever be a legend. He has raised children that are walking in his footsteps. And as you can see, even at 76, the Lord had blessed him with great-grandchildren.
There is no way you would sit with Baba
that you will not learn one or two from.
Some sympathizers spoke to Newsline.
He has played his part in developing peace and unity across the virus divide of this country.
The sterling qualities that we saw in his son, we believe were qualities that inherited from this celebrated man of God.
We feel their pains, especially knowing the role Baba had played, not only as a Reverend Father who brought up so many people, as a community leader.
We want them to continue in the pathway laid down for them by their father.
My heart also goes out to all the members of his family for this loss that is difficult to recall.
Your father had transferred the battle of leadership to you.
Late Right Reverend Tanimu Samari Aduda was born on the 14th of May 1945 in the present-day Karo FCT.
May so rest in peace. That's a package on Newsline today. Join us again next week. Good night and God bless Nigeria.
Welcome to Abuja, the place that unites Nigeria.
NTA Sports 24, where sports thrive.
Ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ sì káàbọ̀ sí yàrá ìròyìn Fọlákẹ́mi Adésọ̀nà Abina ní orúkọ tèmi ń jẹ́.
Onye na-eweta akụkọ ụwa nke taa bụ Omenka Amarachukwu na nke taa.
Masu kallo assalamu alaikum barkamu da zagayowar ranar samun 'yancin kai.
Hooray! NTA language is 10. 10 years of qualitative broadcast in our local languages, popularizing our language, promoting our indigenous culture, food, costume, art, monuments of our core moral and ethic values. Come, celebrate with us and help propel our indigenous language to greater heights. A win for the elevation of our local languages is a win for us all.
There is a lot of fake news and report circulating, especially on social media, on the coronavirus. Do not believe or partake in the spread of these fake reports. If it is not on the official website or news from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, disregard such report. Only together can we beat this virus. Only together can we overcome this pandemic. Follow the instructions and guidelines provided to combat this virus. Most importantly, stay at home. Self-isolate, regardless of your status. The virus doesn't move unless we move. Let us work together to better Nigeria. Together, we can do this.
This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Time and space are two extremes, and in between these two extremes lie the human being. There he, tried to X some life and make a living out of it. For space, you could have as much as you can because it's very much available. And then for time, it's always constantly moving, and that makes it difficult for the human being to so much control it to his own liking. That is why most people complain that 24 hours may not be enough in a day. But you can't have more than that. That's the bad news. But the good news is that whatever it is with time, you, the person, is the pilot. You decide on what to do with the time. You give it the value you want to so that you can reap the best benefit out of it. This is not by the way. My name is Yusuf Nadabo Usman, and the program is Reflections. We're reaching you from the Nigerian Television Authority. This week, we shall try to look at these two extremes and how our personality fit into them and make the mark in life. My personality is an activist. She is a poet. She is an author. She is an author, that is. And indeed, she is the first female Hausa writer of note in northern Nigeria. My personality is 69 years old. She is no any other person but Hafsat Abdul Wahid Ahmed. Welcome to Reflections, Ma.
Thank you very much.
Let's hear from you. Who is Hafsat Abdul Wahid Ahmed?
Well, Hafsat Abdul Wahid was a writer. I was born in Kano, 1952. And both my father and my grandfather was living in Kano. So I was born in Kano, 1952, and then I attended primary school, Shahuchi Primary School. And then my father was transferred to Kaduna, and I attended an LEA primary school. Again, he was transferred to Zaria. I attended Nurul Huda primary school. Then I went back to Kano to Provincial Girls School, which later turned into Shekara Girls Secondary School. Well, my educational background stopped at that. I did attend some private school, like Correspondence College, Bennett, Correspondence College, London, to attain my diploma. That is where I stopped.
Then what about Islamic education?
Well, my Islamic education is at home because both my grandfather and my father are teachers. So he taught us everything at home. Well, I did go up to, I think, SOP 37. Then from there, then it's just reading Islamic books,
Your father and your grandfather were teachers.
Yes, and they are writers.
Can I easily assume that you who were just born into the writing family. That is why you got your acumen to continue?
Correct, yes. I did because my father was writing. Even before I started primary school, I could read and write because he taught at us home. I started primary school at the age of 6, but before that I could read and write, even though it is mostly in Hausa, and in Fulfulde, my language. So writing is just something I grew up with. My father wrote, but most of their books, they write in Islamic books, not our type of writing, It is just now I have a lot of Islamic books. I even have given 2 for publishing. But I started writing Islamic books at the late age. Most of my writing is fiction, when people start accusing women of destroying marriages, giving a lot of kaya lefe and so on and so forth. Most of the time our people, especially the men, they put all the blame on the woman side, not thinking about the other side, whether they spend money, we buy beds, we furnish the house for the man. But all this, it is turned aside and then they just talk about lefe and sadaki.
Let's look at the initial stage, given the fact that people who want to know, especially those coming up, and then maybe draw some inspiration from that. When did you start publishing your book? I learned that you started, writing your stories and your fiction stories, your books, at the age of maybe, was it in primary 3 or thereabout?
Well, I was in primary 5 when my senior sister got married. And she married an Arab man, a Libyan. As you know, in Nigeria, I believe the people who are most about their tribes is the Fulanis. So there is a lot of contradiction inside the issue of the marrying a foreigner. So I wrote that one because we were asked to write a short story in school. And I even got a prize for that. So I wrote her story and got a prize. But then later on, 1972, I think, or 71, I'm not sure. It was between 70 and 72. I entered a competition in Zaria and got my first book published. That is So Aljanna Dunia. I got a second position in that.
Who organized the competition?
New Nigerian Publishing Company under Abakar Imam and this person in Zaria, I forgot his name, Bamali. So I did the competition, I came second. So Aljanna Dunia, it is my sister's story, but I put something inside just to make the book attractive.
Was it in Hausa or in English?
In Hausa. Before I wrote it in English in school. I won I got some prize for it in English. But then when this competition came up, it was in Hausa. So I translated it into Hausa and I got a second position for that. Okay. And even at that time, I think I have around 10 to 15 short stories already. But I didn't bother publishing till after this, my first book was published.
Can you remember how many books you've written so far?
Wow. Well, I can't remember exactly because even now I have around 30 or a bit more than 30. Complete ones there, I assure you I have 20, which I have money now I will publish.
Oh, they haven't been published yet?
No, not yet.
How many of these books have been published so far?
Well, 5. I think I have So Aljanna Dunia, Sabat and Sababi, Nasiha Gama Aura, Yaddubu Me Tambutsai, and these English poems. I have 5, but there are 4 coming up, maybe ending up next month. And 2 of them are religious, but 2 of the other one are fictitious. Because this Sabat and Sababi was a challenge. Professor Manumpashi used to accuse of and tell us that there is no writer like Imam in the North, and there will never be anybody like Imam. So when I get fed up with the way he is talking to us, I told him that if it is taking something from another book and writing it, I will do better than Imam. Because Imam has never written any book on his own. All his books are written either with a European or translated from an Arabic book. Like Magana Jari, it was translated from Arabic book. Alfu Layla wa Layla, that is 1001 Night. And another book they call Iqra, which is in Arabic too. So to me personally, he's not a writer. Because all his books are written out of another books. They just translated it and make it look like our Hausa books. So when Manumpashi challenges me, I wrote this Sabat and Sababi, and I wrote 48 short stories of Sabat and Sababi. Each book contained 12 stories.
So, Al-Jannah Dunia, you said you were motivated to write that story because of your sister's wedding or getting married to, a foreigner, a Libyan for that matter. What is the motivation? What were the crises? What were the problems then? What really pushed you to do that?
Well, at that time, people are against marrying from another languages, another person. Like Hausas, they don't like marrying Kanuri, or Bafulatani or anything. So I feel it is high time we accept being together and start accepting some other tribes into our own tribes. And at that time, as I told you, my sister has some problem at home because she has a lot of people who want to marry her from the Fulani clans. But she decided to choose this Arab man. And I did the same thing too, even though my own marriage was not the same as her own, because I don't have any problem with my marriage. I married an Arab man too, from Yemen. So you see, it is now it is all okay, because now we have a lot of people marrying Yorubas, and so on and so forth. Even my own daughter married a Yoruba man and has 2 children with them. So it is one of the reasons why I wrote this book. I feel as long as we are Muslims, we can marry anybody who is a Muslim.
And the other books, looking at the genre in them, looking at the themes of these books and the rest of them, it seems like it's not about culture now. There are lots of them about morality. There are lots of them about religion and the rest of them, because you wrote so many religious books. Now, the morality issue, when we look at it from the point of view of your books, what really pushed you to do that? Because at the time you were writing, the morality level in the country, in the north, was a little bit higher than it is now. And then it was really not so much of a thing to complain about, because there was discipline, and then there was obedience, and people who were just like their brothers' keepers. What really pushed you to be so much involved in morality issues in your books?
Well, because at that time, it is just the time they started bringing Indian films into the society. And most of our time, our youth, even as young as 10, 12, will do everything to enter a cinema. So to me personally, cinema is one of the things that destroy our morality. And the TV now has taken over, and it is worse than the cinema, because cinema, you have to have money before you enter and see cinema. And sometimes the people refuse small children entering cinema. But now we allow the youth, the younger ones, to use TV, internet, and find out a lot of things. Like now in the film industry, they have started bringing films that will encourage children to go into rape cases, stealing, and so on. So this is one of the reasons I thought at that time that maybe if I write something, I will make a difference, even if not much. That is the reason.
Were you able to make the difference you wanted?
Well, within the society I live, because I used to teach children, the Almajiri and these street workers here, children, they will come to my house, I will buy all their goods, and then I will teach them how to read and write. And I used to tell them that going about is not good for especially female children at that time. But now at the moment, even the male children still have the same problem with the female children, because they are raped too. So all these sort of things, I believe, is because of the low morality of our people. We have borrowed a lot of things from outside and bring it into our society, and that is the reason why our society is what it is now.
What, in your opinion, would be, your suggestion as regards this very borrowing you are talking about, The world has more or less become like a global village. It's now shrinking by the day. It's coming closer and closer because of technology. And people are accepting cultures all over the place now. What should you advise in this regard? Since you started complaining about the cinema at that time and now the television, and here we are with the handsets and the rest of them.
Everything. Yes, even they can watch blue films inside a handset.
Right.
I don't approve parents giving their small children handsets. At least a child should reach up to 17 or 18 before he can use the phone. But now you can see a young boy of 12. My granddaughter, I'm always fighting her because she wants to use my phone for games, And this is all a bad influence of our society. We borrowed a lot of things, like in our marriages now. Before, we don't use cakes, And this, we borrowed the first one from the Yoruba people. That is Ashobi. Ashobi is a Yoruba culture that you use, but now it has entered into Hausa and Fulani society, that they use Ashobi, they use cake, they use even rings, which is not our culture. So personally, to me, I don't think there is anything better than your culture. Once you let go of your culture and borrow, then you will always be a borrower. You have nothing to show for your culture. Like myself now, if I'm attending a conference, I used to attend a workshop on books. I was as a member of Baobab, a chairperson for more than 10 years in Zamfara State. I always use our clothes to attend that meetings. I never use our European clothes. I always use either the Fulani clothes or the Sokoto clothes, the black ones, or weaved clothes of anything, because I believe that my culture is the best. I want people to accept their culture and use their culture and believe their culture is the best.
As a writer, as an avid writer, I know you're an avid reader too, because writers normally read a lot. Do you really like what you read today?
Well, most of the time, I read English books. Most of the time. It is only when my book was criticized. My first book was criticized. Our malams and our people said I have brought soyayya love into the society. I want to spoil the young girls. But in my book, I didn't portray any bad thing inside the book. All I did was to show that another tribe can marry into another tribe and live happily and be accepted, But because of this criticism of people, I started thinking then maybe I would have to write another one. So that is why I wrote the other books, especially Nasiha Gama Aura, because I brought some hadiths and some Quranic verses inside to show that you can marry any person without fear as long as your religion is the same. I don't approve of somebody marrying from another religion, because I believe it will bring problem into the marriage. But if you are a Muslim, then you can marry anybody as a Muslim, and then the society will be fine. So this is one of the reasons. I don't know, maybe, there is a lot of reasons why you write. Sometimes it is the society. Sometimes it is what is happening around you. Like now, I have written a book about this kidnappers and the accusation of Fulanis, because I had a terrible story about one boy from Mambila. His whole family were wiped out in Mambila. He is the only one remaining. He watched his father being burned alive, and even his meat was eaten by the killers. So I wrote a book about this, and I made another short story which will be coming out among, we are around 12 or 15 writers that wanted to contribute something about kidnapping and so on, so that we can get money to give these people who are living, Gudun Hijra. So the story was there. And it is what is happening every day in our society. There is these rape cases. I have written about them. There is this kidnapping. I have written a lot about a lot of things in our society. The problem is only publishing. You need a lot of money to publish a book. For example, the 4 ones now I'm publishing cost me nearly 1.5 million to publish the 4 books. So maybe, even if I'm not around, my children will come to accept, say, my writing is good and publish it. You know, they have been blackmailed and brainwashed into believing writing in your own language is wrong. You have to write in English before you are recognized. So they are not interested in my books. I'm very sorry to say it. I don't believe any one of them has read any of my books. So maybe in the next generation, maybe one of them or their children will come to publish the rest of my books.
You seem not to be, very comfortable with how a lot of people think that books should be written in English, first of all, before they are very much accepted. Why do you think so? Why do you think that books are just books? They could be in anything, any language.
Because I believe our languages need books. We have a lot of white man's book in English, a lot of them, more than I can say, because I have read a lot about the English writers. I think I have read over 10,000 books of writers, and even I have collected some. Unfortunately, I have a fire around 1995, so most of my collection were destroyed. But even this time, I used to collect. Somebody just sent me a copy of Harun Yahya books free. So I believe in Hausa or any language in the North especially, we need books in our own languages. Because there are people who can't read English, they don't understand English. So why deprive them of the joy of reading and write in another language instead of your own? Like my books, my father translated some of my books into Fulfulde and Arabic, especially the first one. But we didn't publish yet. So I believe writing, accepting your language, using it to promote your language and your culture is the best thing that a human being can do to his society.
So virtually you are a culture advocate.
My tribe is my best. There is no tribe like my own. This is my belief. And my language is the best. And there is nothing you can bring me from outside that I will say is better than on my tribe or my language. So I'm promoting my language.
And something goes with your culture too.
Yes. Culture is very important. A person without culture is nothing. You have to have a culture. You have to have a background. You have to know where you come from. What is your use? Why are you born? And all these sorts of things. You have to do it with your culture and your language. Once you let that go, then you don't have any identity. This is my view.
Now, let's look back a little and then see how this whole writing started, how you're continuing in it. What have been your influences? Who have been your influences? Who have been your influencers, if I may say?
My father.
Right.
My father is my influence. He started teaching me how to read and write. He brought books, Arabic books, translated it into Fulfulde and tell us the story of the book. Like this Alf Layla. I have known about some of the stories in Alf Layla even before I started reading Hausa, let alone when I started reading Imam's book. So you see, sometimes you create an interest, but sometimes you are born into an interest. My father is a writer. My grandfather is a writer. I accept my second award in Niger State with my great-grandmother, Nana Wadeji Smau, because I'm a descendant from Sokoto. I'm a descendant of Usman Danfodio. There is 4 caps between my father and Usman Danfodio. So we were given the same award for writing at that time. So you see, if they didn't write and keep it, nobody will know what they have written. But now we have their books. We have Usman Danfodio's book, Abdullahi, and it was translated into our own languages. Like them, they write in Arabic, Fulfulde and Hausa, and 2 of them write in Swahili too. So it is not new to me. I grew up among writers. My father is a he writes poems in Fulfulde and in Arabic. And the same thing with my grandfather. So I just was brought up among writers.
Yeah, we can see that really. Presently, there is this Kano marketplace literature. Talking about the, the involvement of women now in writing, so many of them. And I can even remember that BBC promotes that so much in its programs, and they organize competitions to that effect.
You know, I told you, Manumpashi accused me of bringing the Kano market with my first book, because after my book, most of the writers in Hausa write love stories. So he said I'm the man who promoted them to write stories. But most of the time, they translated Indian films into books. But we have very good writers like Rahama Abdul Majid, Balaraba Ramat. We have a lot of female writers. I respect some of them. I started reading their books because of Manumpashi criticism. So the majority of the book I read are from Indian films. It was translated from Indian films. But we have good writers. We have Fozia, we have Balaraba Ramat, we have Rahama Abdul Majid. They are all good writers.
Now, what would be your word, therefore, to upcoming writers, especially female writers in northern Nigeria and generally in Nigeria? What would be your advice?
I will tell them to keep writing. Even if they didn't get published, they should write and keep it. Maybe someday, one day, another person will come and publish their work. And when writing, please try to research and write something of your own, not copy from another book or from films and so on. This is my advice.
Okay. Before I let go of this writing thing, have your books been used in schools for children?
My first book has been used since 1970 because the competition was in 1970 and the book was published in 1972. So the universities, especially Bayero University, they use that book a lot, and Sokoto University too. So now they are using that book up till now. And my second book, Sabat and Sababitu, is been used in Sokoto, Katsina, Gusau Zamfara State, and Kano too. They use it in secondary schools because it is an adventure for looking for money instead of staying doing nothing, waiting for somebody to bring you money. The stories I wrote, they went out to search for money.
Oh, that's great. Now, in case you are just joining us, the program is Reflections, and we're reaching you from the Nigerian Television Authority. We'll now take a break. Stay back for more on this program. Welcome back. You are a woman activist, Hafsat Abdul Wahid. And in our discussion, you mentioned, your organization, the Baobab, which you've been the chairperson for over 10 years. You are the coordinator at a certain point in time. Now, you got the writing acumen and inheritance from your father, grandfather down the line. Where did you get the activism from?
Well, both my parents, they like women to be free. They like freedom of women. That is why our father educated us the same way he educated his male children. He didn't appreciate, and he always encouraged us to find out about things personally, not to allow somebody to tell us something. Like now, in religion, I was taught to read about Christianity a lot because my father believing in a religion without knowing other religion, it will be baseless. So he allows us to read books on religion. I read books on Christianity. I read books on Hinduism. I read a lot of things, this Zoroastrianism, or any religion. So we were given freedom to find out things ourselves, not to allow somebody to tell us something. So it's one of the reasons I went into this activity, because at that time, women are told not to go to school. Even religiously, Mayo, I believe just to know how to pray. That is all. Because I remember my cousin went to Gusau to visit me while I was there. She recited the Surah Yasin off head. And my houseboy come and ask me, Madam, why did you allow your sister to know so much about Islam? They say, why not? They say, no, his malam told him that women are supposed to only know about prayers. And I said, go and tell your malam, he's telling lies. And the next thing I know, the malam was in my house. He said I was trying to brainwash his almajiri into believing women are equal than men. We have a long discussion. After that, he came to accept my belief. And he even came to sacrifice our Salah rams and the rams with my children in naming ceremony. So this is the belief at that time, that women are not allowed to know too much. Because you know that is why our men, black men, our women, they don't want them to know their right in Islam. That is why. So anything a man does, a woman will accept it as religion. That she is there to fight for paradise under her husband's feet.
Submit completely.
Which I don't believe that. Because even in the Quran, there is nowhere in the Quran that the Quran said a woman's paradise under her husband's feet. When he named religion, he said, believe in Allah, believe in my prophet, and look after your parents. So to me, my belief is paradise under the foot of the parents, especially the mother. So this is what has been making me having problem in Zamfara. I was the coordinator of Baobab for nearly 10 years. Then I was the chairperson of ANA. I established ANA Zamfara.
Association.
Yes, Association of Road. Yes, I was their chairman for more than 10 years. Then I have my own organizations. I have Partnership for Human Development. I have Tudungwada Women's Committee. Under these two organizations, I have done a lot of work in Zamfara, including building boreholes, schools, providing books, not only inside Zamfara, but in the neighboring villages, like Kotorkoshi, Sahi, and so on. And then there is another organization that I established, but give it to another person, Gender Women Initiative. Under this, we teach Almajiri and the Hawking children how to read and write. So I'm not proud to say I have done enough, but I have tried. I have done my best.
Now let's look at that organization once again. I remembered there was a time when, the Baobab organization visited the governor of Zamfara State. That was in the 2000s or thereabout. Yes. You were the coordinator. Yes, we refused to attend that courtesy visit. Why did you refuse to attend? Why didn't you attend that courtesy visit?
Because if I attend, I'm going to spoil things for my colleagues from Lagos. I have been criticizing Yerima for a long time.
The then governor.
And then if I go, if he talk lies, I will talk back. You see? So I will put the organization into problems. That is why I refuse to go. And when they come back, I asked them, they said, he has stayed here. They went there because of this barrier case. We have taken her case because she accused 3 people of having sex with her, and she became pregnant. And Sharia at that time is used only for the underprivileged. So she was accused of her not having any evidence for that, and that she is going to be whipped 100 times because she has done qazafi for these 3 people. One of them has even children older than her. So we took the case under Baobab and under Rapa. Under Baobab, we did try. They did try. When they went there, they asked him to please postpone the whipping because she is nursing a small boy of 7-month-old. He promised to do so. But the very next day, the girl was beaten. So when they went there, they told me that they asked him why there is no women in his cabinet. He said because there are no educated women in Zamfara State. So I didn't say anything to them at that time. The next day, I called BBC, Voice of America, and announced I'm going to contest for the governorship of Zamfara State. We are not after commissioner now. We are after his government.
You're trying to prove him wrong then with this very...
I want to prove that we have educated women at that time. I know a lot of women living inside their big wings of Zamfara State that are educated, some of them with even PhD. Why will he claim we don't have educated women in Zamfara State to hold the post of commissioner? So instead of wanting commissionership under his wing, we want his chair. So that is why. And I did got a lot of people all over Zamfara. I travel and campaign. Because at that time, my husband is a PDP secretary. He's the secretary of PDP in Zamfara State, yes. So I travel. I asked them to give me the mandate to contest under PDP. They refused, you know. So while I was still negotiating with a different party, my father called me and told me to stop this issue of contesting. The Sultan of Sokoto, my uncle, called me and said the same thing. So you see, sitting down and doing nothing, allow everybody to trod on you, is wrong. You are an individual. You are a human being. You have the rights like everybody. So underrating women, especially in our society, is very wrong because Islam has upgraded a woman to a higher position than any man. Because first of all, a woman is the first woman who accepts Islam in the world. It is a woman who was sacrificed. She was killed by her boss because she became a Muslim. So you see, it is a woman who shed her blood for Islam the first time. And then it is a woman that Prophet said 3 times that you should do what your mother told you 3 times before a father. You see, so to me personally, a woman is even bigger than a man. Because no matter how important you are, how big you are, it is a woman who carried you 9 months in her stomach and brought you into the world. So if you look down on a woman, you are looking down on mothers. So we have a lot to learn in our society because for a long time, they have put down women using religion, which is wrong. So how can you look down on a woman? And then she will rule you in your house. You may be a king, you might be a head of state, but at home, it is a woman who will rule you. She will ask you to do things and you will do it. So I think it is foolishness for our men to be thinking of women as weak sex. We are not weak. In some ways, we are even stronger than men because what a woman can take, someone will not take it. Especially in our society now, it is a woman who provides the household feeding and everything when the man is doing nothing. So how can you look down on somebody who is doing everything for you?
So how do you now reconcile this very belief with the saying that it is a man's world?
Well, maybe to the men it is a man's world, but to me it is a woman's world. In my class, 3 of us, we are only 5 females in our primary school. All the rest are male. The first, second, and third are women. The men only follow after. And this in our society now, you will find a man. You know, I blame our malams for what is going on in our society. Because the malam encourage men to marry women even if they don't have money. They told them that if they are poor, they can let them marry. If you are poor, you marry. And again, you didn't get money, you marry again.
But that's a very weak stance.
The prophets and the Quran has put down reasons of getting married and putting laws for that. You are supposed to get accommodation for your wife, feed her, clothe her, do everything for her. Then one malam has said you don't have to do all that. Just marry another woman and the money will come raining down from the sky for you. See? So this is what spoiled our society. You will find a man without job with 2, 3, 4 wives. No feeding them, no education for the children, nothing. So we have a malam in Baobab. He used always to preach that people from the West are trying to stop us having more children, that we should continue having children no matter what. So one day I asked him, I said, Is the prophet going to be proud of El Kwaya and El Banga?
Bandits, drug addicts.
He asked me, what do I mean? You are telling people to marry and have children and give them no education. They become Kwaya people, they become drunkard, they become thieves. So how can the prophet be proud of these people? He said, I'm very stupid, and stopped talking to me from that day. And you know me, I always like to find trouble. So whenever we meet in a workshop, I would go and greet him. He would turn his head away from me. Till later on, then he started answering my greetings. So this is what brought our society to what we are here now. A man is encouraged to marry co-wives. He will bring children, 10, 20, and he will send them for begging, which is not Islamic. So all my writings are based on real life, even the stories. Most of them are based on real life stories. I just add something to make the reading attractive.
Now, all this, as you mentioned, are part of your writings, are part of your books. And the saddest part of it is that most of these books have not been published, as you said.
Well, you know I'm a poor woman. I don't have money.
Yes, you do not
have I become the governor of Zamfara State, you know I will have published my books free.
You should have really, quite okay.
But my father stopped me.
Right.
That is why I withdrew.
Did they stop you from politics generally? Or
no, they just asked me to stop saying I'm going to be a governor.
That contest?
Yes, that contest alone. But
your political life there?
I keep participating in any politics. I even attend lectures here in Abuja with political women. I was invited to talk.
What I mean is contesting other positions. They say, okay, let go the governorship. What about?
From that time, I didn't even consider any position. If I'm not going to have the position of a governor, then there is no position I would like, because I like to make changes.
Don't you think you can make changes in other positions too?
No, you will not be allowed to. Even if you win. The governors and their protocols will not allow you to do what is right. So that is one of the reasons I stopped. But I encourage everybody, I encourage women to participate in politics. The second mistake our people made is always to choose the wrong people.
But when we say politics is dirty and people like you don't want to join because of that reason, then what really happens? Are we going to continue in that very way? For how long would we be continuing
because
that?
The good people, even if they contest, they don't win. They give money out and push the honest people outside. There is nothing you can do unless you have money. And if you are a truthful person, you are honest, nobody is going to sponsor you. You see? So this is one of the reasons. If the politics of Nigeria will be free, that you don't have to buy a ticket for anything, maybe we'll get good people to contest. But at the rate things are going on, you have to pay millions to contest for a governorship or a Senate. Then where will the person get money? So this is the problem. But I hope and wish our next generation will clear this off. Even they are fed up with this, what is going on now, they will do something about it. We have strong children now who care about people and their place of birth. They will do something, even if it's a revolution. Okay. You know, in France, when things get so bad, the king at that time used to buy ships. His interest is in collecting ships and diamond for his wife. So the people revolt, and he was killed. Unfortunately, his wife used to change the diamond the husband gave her into ordinary chain and sell the real one to feed her people with food and coal during the cold season. But he's the first one to go undergo the guillotine. He was the first one they killed. So I think Nigeria is going through that piece. If we are not careful, what happened in France will happen in Nigeria. Unless something changes. This is my belief.
I can see that. Let's go back to the books. One of your books, The Ancient Dance, it's a collection of poems, I believe. Now, that very book, has a lot of morals, lot of, teachings in them for those who really like poetry. Why did you decide to call it the ancient dance?
Well, one of the poems is ancient. Yeah. It's ancient dance because in the olden days, things are better than what we have now. So I decided to title the book that way because in ancient time, a problem of yours is a problem to your neighbor. So I was hoping people will copy that because most of the poems inside are realities. It is something that had happened. I collected a lot of stories because of the women I mingle with in our society. When they have problem with their husband, they will come to me. So most of the poems are real life stories. The dance is about the ancient times. It is from the beginning now. Man and woman is from the time past. Life started with a man and a woman. Yeah. So if you read the ancient dance poem, you will see what I mean inside. I don't have to pronounce it for you or to show you what it is, but you will understand what is inside.
Right. It's okay now, finally on this program. You are, a writer of repute and of course, somebody who has published so many books. And we really feel sad about the fact that they've not been so much published, most of them, but you're working on trying to get them published as such.
I have 4 coming on.
Right. Congratulations for
Thank you.
What do you want to be remembered for?
My books. I want to be remembered by my books and the good work I have done on teaching how to read and write. Because reading and writing is very important. And I know I have taught nearly maybe, if not more than 100 in Zamfara, how to read and write, including adults and small children. And I know they will remember me by that. And my organization has done a lot. We have built boreholes inside Zamfara and in the villages around. And we have built a school, a primary and secondary school there. And we have provided books up till now. I used to buy books and uniform for the children there. So I know people will remember me a lot, even for my smile.
For your courtesy and hospitality.
When I came first to this estate, majority of the people living here are Christians. And it is just like London. So when Eid Fitri comes, and I used to slaughter 6-7 rams in Gusau and give them meat out. I slaughtered 4 rams here, and I don't know where to put the meat. So I divided the meat all over this street and the second one, and took the rest to the mosque. And from that time on, our neighbors will come in, Madam, may I come and talk to you? And from that time, I make friends. Even some have left this estate, but still keep in touch. When I went my first time in London, my daughter told me, Mama, you will not enjoy this, because nobody is coming to see you. 2 or 3 days later, when she came back from work, she found me with her neighbor of 13 years. He has never entered her sitting room. She only entered his sitting room once when his wife died. She found me talking to him and 2 other people. The second day, the same thing. Then she asked me, Mama, how did you get these people? How did I get them? Why don't you ask them how I get them?
Not you.
I told Mama, I know these people, they don't even look at you. But to tell the truth, it is from her son. At that time, her son is very small. He's around 2. And he's very pretty. People assume he is a girl. So whenever I go out, they will stop and talk to me about the boy. From that time, I encourage them to come and see me. And I will give them coffee during the cold season. If you offer a bature, a copy of tea, or a cup of coffee, he becomes yours for life. So we still keep in touch with some people from there. So I believe wherever you go in the world, it is you who can make a difference in that place. It is you who will find out about the people there. When you become friendly, they will get friendly. If you become isolated, they will isolate you. This is my belief. So wherever I go, I make friends, old and young. I think I have more than 100 children all over the world. Now, simply because of talking to them. Or we meet in one of my organizations, you know, so we make friends. They still keep talking.
That's great. We thank you so much, Haji Hafsat.
It's
our pleasure that you've been part of this program this week.
I hope one day Nigeria will talk with one of our languages.
That's a good one too.
And I prepare the talk in full day.
That one work in Nigeria, really?
Around 10 or 20 years ago, I would say it will work. But now I don't think it will work. Maybe the three divisions, maybe here we will talk on Hausa, and the Yoruba will talk in Yoruba, and the Igbos with Igbo. But I don't think we will come to accept one language in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. A very big thank you to you there for coming along. It's been Reflections on the Nigerian Television Authority. I've been discussing with Hajia Hafsat Abdul Wahid Ahmed, the first female author, the first female writer in northern Nigeria. And the discussion has been on for a while. We thank you so much for being part of this program. Why not join us next week for another personality on the Reflections? Bye-bye.
Did you get to see the way Ntalive about to pulls this back?
Don't forget to send in your messages.
There's a difference between picking, child, and issue.
That is
you can do more with less people.
If we have a better way of addressing these issues, taking care of...
Congratulations, you've been able to sign Tino Werner from RB Leipzig.
So you take water before your workout.
People have used their phone, using TikTok to do that.
Should I go for test?
A lot of people don't even have resources.
You can't even hear the sound of a cockroach.
I'm Cecil, and this is the Medley Show on NTA.
We want to talk about rights, there are obligations. I'm not saying that this government is a saint, it's very far from it. But there are things that we can do to make it better, and that's the challenge I'm throwing to you. You don't want to build this nation? I don't know where else you want to go. If I had a choice, I'll come back. When I stand outside and I hear what you have to say about this country that I know that I can die for as one, then I'm really sad because you're young. You have education, you have tools, you have a huge future ahead of you, and you're condemning yourself before you started on that journey. So please don't do that. Please don't.
People always try to protect themselves from danger. When one sees a car coming towards his or her direction in speed, one runs away from such danger in order to be safe. Safety is the responsibility of every person. At home, safety precaution is key, as most fire incidents are caused by careless usage of home appliances like electric cookers, pressing irons, gas cookers, to mention just a few. There are various means of cooking like using stove, electric cookers, firewoods, charcoal, and gas cookers.
I use stove for cooking. The challenges I have, I don't know for other people, is kerosene. But when you use it wisely, you will enjoy the stove, just like other people enjoy using gas.
I love using gas because it's faster. So since ever I have started using it, I've not encountered any trouble or any accidents.
Cooking is often a relaxing and fun task for some people, but without safety tips in mind, it is one of the major causes of home fires. Today, it seems more people use gas cookers to cook. It is said to be a fast and efficient way to cook, and they come in different sizes.
Generally, gas is, we call it, the full meaning is liquefied petroleum gas. It is a byproduct of natural gas processing. and petroleum refining. It is also a mixture of hydrocarbon gases made up of hydrogen and carbon. We have two varieties of gas, what we call propane and butane. Propane is normally used in cold areas of Europe and America, while butane is used in Nigeria. But that butane that is used in Nigeria, there's a proportion of mixture of propane also, because propane is highly inflammable. So you add 20% to make it to burn fine.
In this busy world, everyone wants faster means of doing things, but the issue is how many people are mindful of safety precautions in using liquefied gas to cook.
You know, gas, basically it's leakages, depending on the particular gas you're using, the size of cylinder at which you're using. You know, they have like they have the direct burners, which are like the 3 kg, the 5 kg, and the 6 kg. They're the direct burners. If you can avoid leakages, it's okay. Very much okay, yeah.
It's safer, especially if the house is your own, it is safer to keep it outside and run a hose. There's what we call gas reticulation, whereby you can use copper wire to run your connections in the house. It is also very, very safe. It is good that you give, but we have two types of cylinder. We have composite and steel cylinder. Composite will never explode, so you can keep that one comfortably in your house. If there's any event of fire, it will just melt. That one is like a rubber, it's a fiber.
Today, it seems more people use gas cookers to cook. It is said to be a fast and efficient way to cook, and they come in different sizes.
Using gas is faster, but my husband does not like gas.
Why?
For so many reasons. Getting house burnt and every other thing, and you having a child going towards the gas. But when you are, maybe that person has a grown-up children, is allowed to use gas. So I prefer the two.
Many people, they are afraid of using gas because they said it's burnt house, at least it's easy to catch light. I didn't believe so.
Some people like using long hoses. Some people like using long hoses. It is not allowed. You use a very short hose that is feasible and secured without joints. You don't join hose, because if you join hose, there will be incidents of leaks here and there. Also, these hoses are not allowed to overstay. At least if you use a hose 6 months or 1 year, you change. Whether it has leak or not, you have to change because it's weak already.
Cooking can be fun, but kitchen safety is priority. Think safety, be extra careful while cooking.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys, they're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day I got tired of all that and I said,
Hello and welcome. It's time for another interesting package of
Everything Music.
Angelina, you dey cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
This is Talking Movies.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder.
Stop it!
Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
Arise, oh compatriots. It's time to use our voice.
Beyond 6 packs.
Bills, 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 bills.
Pay the bills. Keep paying telephone bills. Keep paying my bills.
Welcome to Gallery.
Me and my paddies.
London for what?
London for medicine.
Medicine for what?
Medicine for coffee.
Are you sickness?
To our illness. Welcome to Gist Zone.
All right, my name is the Eselusien Wego One. Ona nyokoko nyonyo.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Yes, we started, revealing our cassava story yesterday on the show, and it was